not stop fighting and putting your, I say tweeting still, or putting things on X. Don't stop calling your members of Congress. Write the Supreme Court. You're allowed to write the Supreme Court. Tell them how you feel. Write these judges. Don't attack or threaten. Never. I want that right here. Do not, never send a message that has a threat tied to it. Do not. So that being said, I want to do, it's already 8:22, and we're going to get into the phone call yesterday with Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump and what really happened there, right? And we're going to get into that. But I want to talk about this yesterday afternoon. So if you're out there in America, let's talk logic, okay? Now, for those, and I would say this, forget the Democrats that are so far gone. I mean, they're gone. There's no return. We just have to write them off. Do you realize we're at a point to restore America? Sadly, there's a percentage of the population we just have to write off and start all over. Now that I'm going to get pushback on that and get nasty messages, but quit. This is not religion, so quit trying to save them. Got it? Now, if you're trying to save your brother over here, and it's religion, that's a different thing. This is politics. This is a country. All right? Quit trying to save them. There's a percent that just will not. So my question to you, and no pun intended, let's encapsulate this. If they would not, they tell you, all the media tells you that every single thing surrounding the 2020 election, every single thing surrounding COVID, I mean, all the above. And they tell you that all the courts, remember, let's go back to the courts. Because what you're hearing now, we have been told every time they report something, they say, well, they went to 30-some courts or 68 courts, and every court out there said the 2020 election is legit. Every court out there said they cannot find anything wrong with the 2020 election. They cannot find fraud. All right. So you have to stop and think, what length would they go to? What would they do? How far would they go to manipulate, steal, change the outcome of an election? What would they actually do? Well, I'll tell you. They would leave two people in space. Now, for those flat earthers that watch the show, welcome, okay? Whatever, bada bing, bada boom. Flat, round, globe, atmosphere, gravity, whatever you think, okay? So we'll just go with this. There's some people up there. We're down here, they're up there. All right? That's, boom. And we have this space station. We take people up, boom. We come back, they do a mission and come back. They would leave them in space to manipulate an election. 9 months. These two people, the evil. I mean, I hope that these people, number 8, okay? Now, I watched it. Did you watch it yesterday? I did. I actually did. I'm an American. I'm true blue. I'm red, white, and blue. Okay. And, I don't want to tell you my age when supposedly we landed on the moon. Don't want to go there. That is a damn can of worms I'm not opening up. All right. But I was in front of the TV when that supposedly happened. I don't know. We're not going there. Bada bing, bada boom. Move along. But Butch and Sonny, they go up for a 1-week mission, and they go up for a 1-week mission during the Biden administration. At this time, Joe Biden, and give me number 7. At this time, Joe Biden is still running for election. They have to stop Trump. Everything. Try to kill Trump. They may not. They'll watch the show and say, I don't appreciate you saying they. They may not have. Okay. Not that the CIA would kill a president or a candidate. No, not that that would happen. We don't know. All right. So, but they try to put Trump in jail. They try to put Trump in jail. The list goes on. Oh, my God. Lawsuit after lawsuit. Porn star after porn star. Bang, bang, shoot him up after whatever. You can't make it up. Tried to stop him from being on the ballot. So I'm just going to paraphrase, or I'm just going to tell you what I think, not paraphrase. I'm going to tell you what I think that meeting was like. So these two people go up for a 1-week mission 9 months ago, 1 week. And the aircraft, the Boeing, all right, Starliner spaceship, it wasn't safe. Now, this is Boeing. So NASA sends them up in this Boeing, the Starliner spaceship, and they had some hydraulic leaks or something, hydrogen, whatever. You know, this is space talk. They had some leaks, and they did not feel it was safe to bring back the Boeing Starliner with passengers. So they told Butch and Sonny, look, I know you plan to be there for a week and you only packed, enough underwear for 6 days. We'll come back and get you. We don't find it safe. Let us get back, get everything straightened out. We'll be on our way back. Okay, so now SpaceX, and there is number 9. Go with number 9. And there's a reason I'm telling you this, because nothing we could trust from these people. And the level of hate. Now, NASA astronauts return to Earth after 9 months in space. And give me number 18. Right? Here is a picture of Sonny. Now, I went to the TV. I knew about what time. 5 o'clock. I knew about 5 o'clock that Butch and Sonny were returning. Call me silly, say this is the childish side of me, but I wanted to see the splashdown. Go ahead and give me video 8.
The Dragon spacecraft, and we're going to stand by for splashdown, located in the Gulf of America, off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida.
And splashdown. Crew 9 back on Earth.
And SpaceX Freedom, splashdown. Good main release.
Copy, splashdown. We see main chutes cut. Nick, Alex, Butch, Sonny, on behalf of SpaceX, welcome home.
Now that's SpaceX, that's splashdown, and keep this in mind, it's freaking them out. If you watch any of the networks, they cut out, give me video 20. I'm not video 20, give me number 20, all right? NASA SpaceX returns, all right? 9 months later. One, they cut out Gulf of America. Now, if you watched anywhere yesterday, you tell me, now it might have been Fox, I don't know, no credit to Fox, maybe Newsmax, OAN, somewhere, right side, but You tell me any of the networks, CBS, ABC, CNN, because I watched CNN. I watched it. You did not hear the splashdown A was in the Gulf of America. And B, they spent very little time. Now, SpaceX, all right. Now, 9 months ago, when they were there for a month, and there's a reason why I'm going in great depth, because anything, if you have one single thing, give me number 59. If you have one single thing out there that, they hate Elon Musk, hate this man. They're torching his Tesla dealerships, terrorizing them. He right now, what I could see, he has been a plus for America. That's what I can see. Now, is he up to something? I know I'm going to get that pushback. Is there something I don't see? Hey, look, I'm not connected, so there's obviously probably something I don't see. But whether it's Tesla cars, investment in America, Starlink, remember the left that won't report, that won't bring up who Starlink, Elon Musk. Remember when the Ukrainian war started, who put Ukraine on Starlink? Right? Who when the war started, Starlink, right? When the Hurricane Helene hit Western North Carolina, who sent and shipped immediately? Starlink. Florida, Starlink. Our government has used Starlink everywhere they possibly could in any tragedy, weather related, war, whatever. And he has come forward with Starlink, a positive for America. Now, I'm not hailing this guy. I promise. I'm not cheering him. I don't know the guy. But not one word. They left those people for 9 damn months because they did not want this guy or Donald Trump getting any credit. If those people would have died, you got to think this all the way through. It would be okay with them. If Joe Biden stayed in the race or Kamala won the race, right? And they got to report that Sonny and Butch are dead. They have zero interest in life, no matter what they tell you. From birth, conception, birth, to the moon, Alice. Now, I'm only going to play this because I watched all the networks. Here is number 6. They burning up Tesla dealerships. Exactly. Burning up Tesla dealerships. Number 11. Here are the areas that Tesla is being attacked. And
11's not right. Which one?
That's not one. Diana, we got number 6. You know I called number 6, Diane. You know I did.
Roll the tape.
All right, number 6, please. Well, those are they should have been. No, I better not say. Number 6, they're attacking Tesla dealerships, right? Number 11. They know out there I meant it. They know.
2 11s?
No, not 11. No, 17. What the hell's with this 11? Give me 17. What is going on? Look at that, right? Now, I'm going to get out of this, and we're going to go
You need
to
your
our next
glasses.
segment.
You thought the 7 was a 1.
Stop telling God and all the country, please. Okay. You don't have to share our family secrets. All right. Anyhow, it is one of those days. Now, listen to this, because NBC, no matter where you watched or this morning, I'm going to stop this, Diane, and then I'm going to start it again. So we're not going to change. Give me video 2. Listen to CNN this morning.
286 days on the International Space Station, far longer than the original 8-day mission. CNN's Ed Lavandera has more.
The SpaceX capsule carrying NASA astronauts Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore made a dramatic splashdown in the Gulf waters off the coast of the Florida Panhandle Tuesday evening, complete with a dolphin show swimming around the capsule as the crews began the process of lifting that capsule out of the ocean waters. This capped the end of a long saga for these NASA astronauts who had launched into outer space back in June of last summer, 9 months ago, on the Boeing Starliner spacecraft. But because of technical problems with that spacecraft, NASA deemed that it was...
All right, hold it there. So they're laying it out, right? Laying it out. Boeing, technical problems. NASA deemed it unsafe to bring Butch and Sonny back, right? Laying out full report. Now, will they end this report thanking Donald Trump, NASA, and Elon Musk and SpaceX? Will they say thank you? Or are they angry that the people are back? Roll the tape.
Not safe enough for those astronauts to use to return. That kicked off a lot of planning and preparation for NASA officials to find another way to get those astronauts back home. Those astronauts are now back on Earth. They are going through the process of returning and coming back here to the Johnson Space Center in Houston, where they will reunite with their family members, and they will also begin the more intensive process of reacclimating to the Earth's gravity, going through a series of medical tests, being put in pools to regain strength and that sort of thing. That's a process that could take days, if not weeks. So that is the primary focus that NASA officials are focused on right now for these astronauts as they come back here to Houston. But this is also a crew that has been caught up in a saga, a political saga, as President Trump and Elon Musk have claimed that these astronauts were stranded and abandoned in outer space by the Biden administration. The two astronauts have denied that this is the case. NASA officials were asked about this Tuesday after the safe landing of these astronauts in their splashdown. They kind of sidestepped the question, saying that since the very beginning of all of this, they have really focused on trying to find the safest way possible to get these astronauts back home safely. Ed Lavandera, CNN, at the Johnson Space.
I was waiting for thank you, Elon Musk. Thank you, President Trump.
I think it's interesting that on that, the video from the splashdown, it says NASA's SpaceX. So SpaceX is separate from NASA, right?
Yeah, no.
Oh, it's not.
No. Yes. Wait a minute. Yes and no. SpaceX is contracted to NASA for missions. So when SpaceX is doing something where NASA is concerned, NASA takes the lead as far as it's a NASA mission. You understand? So I'm not saying, I mean, NASA is still the lead of our space exploration and our space program. And that's where they always attack Elon for his government contract. SpaceX, it has cooperation with NASA. Am I clear on that?
Yep, got it.
Okay. So, but it is SpaceX that went up and said, we'll go up. Now, you got to understand something. If it wasn't for Donald Trump, we got to get out. So I'm glad you asked that, because if it wasn't for the president of the United States instructing NASA to allow SpaceX to go get Sonny and retrieve Sonny and Butch, NASA would still be sitting there and Sonny and Butch would still be there. So that was a directive basically from the President of the United States. Folks, they'll leave your ass in space. You better not get up, waking up thinking these people care about you. All right, we're going to get out. When we come back, we are going to talk about Putin and the phone call. We're going to talk about the phone call. Let's see. Well, we have a lot to go over when we get back. Let's just take a break, and we'll be right back after these brief messages. Diane, I'm looking at the upcoming lineup here that I have going through here, and I'm wondering if anyone will leave the show today like happy. I have concerns, but I'm going to say it. I am going to say it. Now, I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. And I just want to say this. All right, the Georgia Hour. Do not tell me you want to drain the swamp if you don't know where the swamp is located. Don't tell me you want to drain the swamp if you're not going to listen, pay attention on who the swamp who they are. Now, here, who are they? Was that grammatically incorrect? But then again, now I'm going to tell you something for the Georgia Hour. I'm going to... All right, you know how you're always saying you can't get your representatives to listen to you? You know how you're always saying you can't get your state senators to listen to you? You know how you're always saying they don't show up at your GOP parties, at your meetings? You know that? You know how you're always saying, you went to the Board of Election meeting and they're not listening? You know how you're always saying that? Well, we're going to explain how you shift that today. Yes. I have people call me say, BKP, how do we get them to listen? We're going to get them to listen to you, the lawmakers, because you're going to take a stand and you're going to put the first sweep of the swamp and clean it up, and I shall. We'll get into that. All right, so yesterday, and I'm going to say this, I do not have a lot to cover, number 24. I just have some comments, brief comments. So yesterday, documents were released. They say 80,000. There's some back and forth on, was it really 80,000? All right. Concerning the JFK, Trump said he wanted them unredacted. There's a lot of them redacted. Okay. There's still... People say there's still as many as 5,000 that have not been released. And 25, if you look at social media and your X account, according to most people you follow, there's a lot of discussion. So it will take, just so you know, it will take a little while. No one actually has gone through the documents. All right. No one has gone through the documents. and can completely tie together everything in this case, or say this is what's missing. You just got a lot of flamethrowers right now, a lot of flamethrowers out there on these documents. And I'll give you, I thought I cropped a couple. Maybe I did not. I guess I don't have them in here. I thought I had a couple that highlight CIA as, no, I didn't put them in the mix. But we have a couple that highlight the CIA. So we know we've watched, I'll put it like this, we've watched enough Tucker Carlson to know, and others, the CIA involvement. But here is I thought this was an interesting discussion on Morning Joe. Give me video 11.
Believe that it's going to fundamentally change our understanding of what happened here.
So, Ken, why after all these years, after 60 plus years, why is there still a need to redact any document 60 plus years later? Why don't we get all these documents unredacted so we can know what happened on really probably the single most impactful event of our time?
It's a great question, Joe, and it's a question that you're raising, and people like Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson are also raising. And look, I don't have a good answer. Other than the fact that we all know that the U.S. government is incredibly bureaucratic and overly cautious when it comes to classified information, and particularly CIA sources and methods, and particularly names of individuals who work for the CIA, because there is a concern, or worked on behalf of the CIA. There is a concern that, you could put people in danger even this many years later, or their families or their relatives. But look, I'm with you on this. I mean, it's hard to imagine 2 generations later that there is really anything left that's so sensitive that it has to be withheld from the American people, guys.
Yeah.
When Morning Joe, now I've got to think about this. I've got to put my brain on pause for just a second and check myself. Am I agreeing with what I just heard? Because when even Joe Scarborough, and they say CIA, and they say even Tucker Carlson's wanting this unredacted, and President Trump. Now, that's what caught my ear. When he said even President Trump and Tucker Carlson. Now, Tucker Carlson, does he have pull? Now, I want to bring this up for a reason, because I want you to listen to this. This is a test. It is a test of, it's a hearing test. Give me give me 46. This is not relevant, okay, to the discussion, but Tucker Carlson reveals who he thinks will succeed Trump and gives the president some unsolicited advice. Well, I've told you all along, this is an advisor of the president. We're very clear here. You have watched, I have watched. He tells you CIA, right? Colonel McGregor, I don't want to quote him, but if you can go find it, will tell you, I think he said something to the reference, the CIA is the most corrupt organization in the world. And that guy on MSNBC, what signal did he send out when he said CIA, Tucker Carlson, and Donald Trump? Did the CIA tell Donald Trump no? Did they? Who told Donald Trump no? Who said, Trump, you cannot have these unredacted documents? So just think about that All right? Just think about it. Just pay attention. Now, moving right along. Number 3. Yesterday, Trump had a phone call with Vladimir Putin. The lack of information and what information that's being released is it's very interesting. So Trump here and Vladimir Putin had a phone call. In fact, give me number 19, and then we're going to go back to 3. So let's go like this. Vladimir Putin's on the phone with Trump. Russia agreed to pause Ukraine energy attacks. So basically, Trump says, look, I get where you're coming from, but if we do anything today, can we stop bombing? Can we stop bombing power plants, water plants? Can we stop bombing these? Because Vladimir, whether it's me or whether it's you, it's going to cost a lot of money to put utilities, water system, these kind of things back in place. So Vladimir Putin is basically agreeing not to take out what he considers his own power plants, his own water plants. You got to keep in mind, I told you this, the guy on the phone in Russia, this is not pro-Russian. The guy on the phone in Russia, he's approaching this phone call as, I won. Now, are you taking the lead on an unconditional surrender by Ukraine? This is not a negotiation for peace. This is Vladimir Putin, is thoroughly my opinion, asking Donald Trump, are you the one that is moderating and working on an unconditional surrender of Ukraine and figuring out how they can exist and move forward? Because if you think the UK and you think France, by the way, give me number 31, and I want to go back here. If you think the guy in France that is married to this man, you really think, here's what's happening. I'm sitting over here in Russia, and I'm listening to this little boy, Macron, talk about putting the French troops in there that without you would be speaking German. He's married to this man. You think I'm going to let him put troops in there? Go back to that last one if you could. You've lost your damn mind. That's the way I think Putin is approaching this, because I've told you he's not exactly been at war with Ukraine for 3 years. When I say he feels he is deterring NATO aggression on Mother Russia. Now, whether you believe that or not. Now, go back to number 3. Vladimir Putin is not having a phone call with Donald Trump with any concerns about this guy. This guy is nowhere. Vladimir Zelensky in Ukraine. How dare you? This is Putin. How dare you think he's on my level? He's not. So we'll stop bombing the power plants. All right, we'll do that. Now, MSNBC, these are the only people that still believe this. Video 1.
Plus, we'll have the latest on the possible terms of a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine following the president's call yesterday with Vladimir Putin. The question is, can there be a legitimate ceasefire without Ukraine involved in these negotiations?
Let me answer that for you. Yes. Yes, there has to be, and there will be. There will be. There's not going to be Vladimir Putin probably very clear, all right, very clear on this phone call yesterday that, give me number 55. This is from the Moscow Times. Moscow Times 55, right? Putin says Russia open to Western companies' return, officials say, but on Moscow's terms. Now, my only joke of the day is Trump said, now, if I come to Moscow, can I get a Diet Coke? You know, I got to get a Diet Coke, Vladimir. Yes, I will make sure the Diet Coke is here for you. Bring your own. They are actually discussing the terms on restoring relations. Number 54 from the Moscow Times. Now, this is what they are reporting, not our media. Russia and Ukraine agree to halt attacks on energy infrastructure, but broader ceasefire stalls. Vladimir Putin insists any peace deal must include complete end of Western military and intelligence support for Kiev. If you think you're going to put troops in Ukraine, if you think you're going to stage more military equipment, I'm going to take a break while you set up more military equipment. If you think you're going to leave this little sawed-off runt, right, number 3, over there, no, not going to happen. But, you know, our media, give me video 3.
Now, it's not the 30-day ceasefire that some were hoping for, but President Trump says that he thinks that that will come soon. Ukraine's president says that while he supports the pause on energy attacks, he believes that Russia is not ready for a full ceasefire.
We support all steps aimed at ending the war, but in order to support them, we need to understand what exactly we support. When President Trump has time, he is a busy man, but when he has time, he can call me anytime. He has my phone number. We are ready to talk through further steps with pleasure.
More now from...
Give me number 15. Mr. President, Vladimir Zelensky's on line 3. Yeah, okay. He's called 6 times. The guy in the middle has gone all over the world to make deals. I tell you this, watch when this ends. Now, my opinion strongly is Russia needs this to end. They do. Russia needs to restore economic ties and move forward in the world economically. They do need to do that, especially with the United States. And Vladimir Putin sees that possibility, that Trump will, re-engage Russia through commerce and so forth. And they do need that. But they won't bend on some things because Putin does have Xi Jinping, China's backing. He has, whether we think it's relevant, he has Iran's backing. Whether you think it's irrelevant or not, he has North Korea's backing. All right. He may not have the backing of Moldova. Right. But anyhow, the point is, he doesn't have to come to the table and honor the UK and Europe. And Zelensky's got a problem because I will say when this ends, let's go ahead how they report. Go ahead with the last one I have. Morning Joe the Putin video 5.
That's one reason the Wall Street Journal editorial's other editorial is talking about what you just talked about, Chris Matthews, the phone call. And I just want to read just a quick portion of it. It said President Trump and Vladimir Putin talked on the phone on Tuesday, and neither side is divulging much of the details, but strip away the diplomatic pieties, and the main result is that Mr. Putin didn't agree to Mr. Trump's 30-day ceasefire, while Ukraine's Zelensky did. Have we figured out who the real obstacle to peace is yet? And they go on.
Have you figured out who the real obstacle to peace is? Have you figured out the real obstacle to peace? 52. This is Russian again. Zelensky wants to talk with Trump after U.S. president's conversation with Putin. All right. Vladimir Zelensky told reporters he hoped to learn details of the recent phone conversation between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. I expect to have a conversation with President Trump so that we could understand the details. Don't forget, Trump knows he don't have the cards. He told him, you do not have the cards. Now, I will tell you this, Putin, when you call it negotiating, give me the Telegraph, number 53. And this is from the Telegraph. Putin rejects ceasefire. As you can see the cartoon, this is from the UK. All right. Ukraine reports strikes just hours after Russia leader agreed to suspended attacks. But look at the cartoon. The front line, Russia. Donald, we demand a freeze on all NATO weapon supplies to Ukraine as they have weapons pointed at Ukraine, is what they're trying to say. Now, the point is, our media, the Joe Scarboroughs, they're all in the tank for this. Remember, Zelensky. UK will give you anything. Why do you think Stammer, when he went over there, the UK Prime Minister, when he left Trump, got his ass thrown out of the White House, and he went over there, right? And Stammer hugged him and just embraced him. And same thing with Macron. And at number 10 Downing Street, and said, we support you 100%. We have your back. We're going to do anything we have to. Is because UK signed a 100-year deal with Ukraine and Vladimir Zelensky. 100-year deal. Remember that. I brought it up here the other day. Look, they're going to continue to say Putin does not want peace. Got it? That's what they're going to say. And this guy here, number 3, and we're going to get out from this phone call yesterday. This guy here, Vladimir Zelensky, Putin, as far as I'm concerned, hey, excuse me, I won. What makes you think you're going to take my minerals? What makes you think you get access? What makes you think that? I won. 2, I won. What makes you think this guy stays in power? What makes you think the parliament stays intact? What makes you think that? Now, will Putin work these things out? Yes, but not with that guy there. No. 3, oh, by the way, you really think the UK, the French, the Germans, you really think you guys are going to put missiles and troops? No, not going to happen. So, folks, number 1, once again, as we started this morning, and they will see that the media will continue to turn them into the people that tried to bring peace, tried to bring peace. And what standing? Because what failed, according to our deep state corporate corrupt media, what failed? Donald Trump. Couldn't do it. Right? Number 2, Putin doesn't want peace. Zelensky wants peace. Number 1, we all know that the auto pen absolutely made a mess of everything. The whole world, our friggin' our economy, just a mess. I mean, my God, clean up on aisle 5. It's unreal. Don't believe this. Don't fall for it. Go ahead. Let's go with this really quickly because we're going to get past this. We got to get to the Georgia hour because we have a lot. We might have more than an hour for Georgia. And give me video 6. And I don't know if I'm going to play the whole thing, but go ahead with video 6.
And you know what their attitude is? I made my money all by myself. How dare your government take my money from me? I don't want to pay taxes. Or, I built my company with my bare hands. How dare your government tell me how I should treat my customers, the land and water that I own, or my employees? They hate government. Government's a barrier to people. A barrier to stop them from doing things. They want to destroy it. We are not letting them do it, and we're united.
Okay, good.
Okay, so Schumer goes on The View, trying to recover. Give me number 11. I do know this. Gary Peters in the center bottom. All right, Gary Peters in the center bottom. And I want to enlarge this so I can. All right. Gary Peters in the center on the bottom there in Michigan is retiring. Schumer is safe in New York. Kirsten Gillibrand should be safe in New York. Dick Durbin is safe in Illinois. Austin Angus King is safe. He caucuses with the Democrats, but he claims to be an independent in Maine. I don't know about the guy in Hawaii. Masto in Nevada is not safe, so that's an interesting one, but she's a new, right? That we remember Masto in the bottom corner. They stole that election in Nevada, but anyhow, I'm pretty sure she's new and has 6 years on the calendar, so they'll get over it by the time they get to her. Janine Shaheen, the bottom Peters, and Janine Shaheen in New Hampshire. Janine Shaheen is retiring, and Maggie Hassan in New Hampshire, she's not up for re-election. So that's the way they pick them. Schumer, this is all a front. This is all noise. Every bit of it's all noise. Schumer is okay. Maybe, well, they stabbed him in the back. They're going after him. Look, I don't know if Schumer's retiring or taking a step back, but the Democrats always have to have a villain to make their people think we're pushing back. And right now, that's Chuck Schumer. And my favorite video, as you well know, I want to do it one more time, video 4.
What leverage do we have? Democrats keep showing up at every night fight with a casserole.
I will never get rid of that video. Democrats keep showing up at a knife fight with a casserole. A tuna. Take a break. Diane, we're going to have a talk. I think after the GOP convention in June, I think I got to take a vacation. I mean, like a vacation where I don't turn the TV on. I don't read. Well, I would read. I would take a good book. I'm thinking that. I really am. Will it happen? Probably not. I'll probably plan that vacation next week, and then I'll plan that vacation next week, and then I'll plan that vacation next week. And then you'll be trying to figure out who did it. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. I mean, what I'm about to show momentarily here in the Georgia Hour, I don't see a way out for me, but it has to be done. All right, so, I've spent a lot of time on Elon Musk, and yesterday, I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Good morning, Diane. Yesterday, why do they hate? Remember, I got to play this again. I played it yesterday, and it just does not. Give me video 10.
One of the biggest scam fraud holes we've uncovered, which is really crazy, is that the government can give money to a so-called nonprofit with very few controls, and then there's no auditing subsequently of that nonprofit. So there's no. So this is where with the 1.9 billion to Stacey Abrams, they then give themselves extremely lavish, like insane salaries. Expense everything to the nonprofit, buy jets and homes and all sorts of things.
Live like kings and queens.
Yes.
On the taxpayer dime.
Correct.
Okay, so there are situations where, unbeknownst to you, you've received and accepted money from an NGO or someone that's running a nonprofit, and you don't know exactly all the background. And that's not fair to you because there's so much corruption out there that's taking place. And if somebody places an order with you or pays you for services, you don't know. So one of the many things I don't like is some people will go back and back and back, and then they'll say, oh, this person was tied to or received some money. Okay, I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, let's stay focused on the billions and trillions of dollars where these people like the Stacey Abrams of the world. Maybe she bought some refrigerators and you're not happy with the appliance company that got a check. But let's stay focused on the actual criminals. Now, they hate this man. I'm going to give you one more because this one blew me away yesterday, and I think it's worthy of an encore performance. Give me video 9, Diane.
Okay, so you may think that that the government computers all talk to each other. They synchronize. They add up what funds are going somewhere, and it's it's coherent. There's and that the numbers, for example, that you're presented as a senator, are actually the real numbers.
One would think.
They're not.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they're not totally wrong, but they're probably off by 5% or 10% in some cases. So I call a magic money computer any computer which can just make money out of thin air. That's magic money.
So how does that work?
It just issues payments.
And you said there's something like 11 of these computers at Treasury that are sending out trillions in payments?
They're mostly at Treasury. Some are, but there's some at HHS, some there's one or two at State, there's some at DOD. I think we found now 14 magic money computers.
14, okay.
They just send money out of nothing.
Folks, so the reason I played that again is we have to, I don't like the word accept in some areas, not accept, but we have to realize technology, it is moving rapidly, okay? We'll just stay with that right now. It is AI, all the above, quantum computing rapidly. Now, I have said, because, like it or not, I have common sense. If that upsets you, that I have common sense. All right. And Trump said, we're going to bring back the age of common sense. So there's a side of me that says, we need that guy. There's a side of me that says, we need that guy. I read the articles you send me. I know some of you that are, Elon Musk is up to this, he's up to that. I get it. But, you know, it's just like the Manhattan Project, right? Do we want the scientists on our side or the Germans? Do we want the scientists on our side or the Russians? So as this fast-paced moving world, this is the guy, SpaceX. Got it? This is Starlink, satellites up there, Starlink. This is the guy that has been developing electric, self-driving car technology. Now, we always say we want the best and brightest. So there's a side of me. Why are we trying to run? Why are certain people, Steve Bannon being one, okay? Why are we trying to run this guy off? I get it. I do. No matter what you say, I get it. I understand you have concerns on the Muskie. But, when you start thinking about it and you look at the things that are going around, let me just show this, because we're going to get to the Georgia Hour. And I'm going to explain the Georgia Hour because it's going to be more. Start texting people. It's going to be more than an hour, and we're going to get there because we have some work to do. And if you're out there nationally, you want to stay for the Georgia Hour. You do. Okay? This is something I think you should study. Number 56. ECB prepping the ground for digital euro launch in October. You got to pay attention to this. Brussels, right? Brussels, the separation of the EU, the separation of NATO, the separation with America. There is a separation. And number 57, the European Central Bank is laying the groundwork for the portable launch of its wholesale and retail central bank digital currency, the digital euro. All right? You got to pay attention to this. Give me number 58. If most of your money is still in fiat, the bank, stocks, mortgage, real estate, etc., they don't need permission. They want you owning nothing. So remember, you may want to consider a permissionless, unconfiscatable, easy, mobile, liquid digital asset such as Bitcoin. Now, we all know, when I say we all know, you and I all know you will own nothing and you will be happy. We all know that. Brussels, we know what's going on with Ursula. We know what's happening there in the European Union. Pay attention. Now, to go with that, and that's why I don't know, do we want to run off Elon Musk? I don't know. Because let me ask you a question on electric cars. And Diane, I am not ready for it, but I'm going to want 48 when I give you the high sign. All right? Now, I travel, and when I travel, I stop at a gas station, right? And I read this article. I read all the way through this article because it caught my attention. And when I travel at gas stations, and I stop at gas stations, all right? And I look at the pumps, and I'll use an example. I'll give you racetrack. You got racetrack, you got QT, you got Wawa. You start traveling up 81, you got this company called Sheetz. And these are these enormous, just a handful. These are these Buc-ee's, right? But if you start traveling, you got, for the most part, take that one down, Diane. You've got these enormous filling stations, gas stations, pumps everywhere, like 5 in each island, is this called. You could look out there, you go in, get a coffee, get your chips, right? You put the pump in, you're not supposed to leave the car. You go in, use the restroom, get a 92 ounce at the fountain, some sunflower seeds, a candy bar, get the family something. You spend $92 in there and $60 at the gas pump. All this, where I'm going. So I have, for years, I've always looked at and said, I look over that they have 2 and 3 charging stations, 2 and 3. And you have to plug in over there and you have to sit a while. And I've always said, until these enormous stations that have this invested, there's no way the American people are going to want to plug in and wait 3 hours before they can go another 280 miles. They're not going to do it. All right? But until you can pull up at that pump, put it in there, go in, and the time you use the bathroom, come back, put it up, and get in the car and go like you're a NASCAR. Will the electric vehicle really take off? These are multi-million-dollar locations. Multi-million-dollar locations. You can't kill that industry all over the United States. But then there's number 48. EV charging in the same time it takes to fill up with gas. Now, this is the largest electric vehicle company in the world in China. China's BYD unveils new battery technology to solve one of the biggest flaws with electric cars. That's the biggest flaw, right? I'm on the way to work. Oh my God, I got a quarter tank or an eighth tank, and I only got 7 miles till my charge runs out. A, I have to find a station, and B, I can't be late for work. Or, back in the old days when you used to pull in, I did, the 7-Eleven, go in, get a coffee, buttered roll coffee, boom, out the door, gas, boom, on the road. I can't be late for work until they solve that. So the biggest flaw in electric cars, the world's biggest electric car manufacturer overnight revealed its Super E platform using the latest lithium ion phosphate blade battery technology that it claims can charge at the speeds of up to blank kilowatts. This will allow, not gigawatts. For you out there, this is not a flux capacitor. It's not a flux capacitor. These are not gigawatts, Dr. Brown, okay? This will allow its latest EVs to be charged in around the same time it takes to refuel at pumps. Now, if this technology unveiled will let the vehicle be charged that fast, wait till the next level of technology comes out, where it's even faster. There's fast, faster, And wait till fast this gets here. Zip, boom, batteries up. Damn, that was fast. This is the biggest hurdle. If you could take a Wawa, we'll call it a Wawa, relax. I don't have time to go. And you got 19 pumps. You got a company comes in and takes 2 of those islands and takes, 20 pumps, takes 10 of them out, puts 10 of these rapid chargers, and you can get your coffee, get you a sub, get back in the car, zip, plug that car in, not unsafe. It's not gas. It wouldn't be plug that car in, run inside, zip, 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 unplug that car. Good for another 322 miles. Now that could get interesting. Take that down. Watch. So I don't know. I'm just saying, do we need to? Give me number 49. Do we need to get rid of Elon Musk? Now we're going to take a break. Go ahead with 49. And we're going to come back. And I want to go there. They came from outer space. Boom. Take that down. So here is a little bit. You've got 5 minutes to call your friends, call your neighbors, and say the Georgia hour is starting about 10 minutes early. Get on BKP, get on Voice of Rural America, Roku, wherever you're at. Now give me number 73. I'm going to give you some tops. 73. Do you know who this is? Right? Now, let me just say this. These people have threatened to sue me in the past. They have. They've threatened to sue me. All right? And I'm just highlighting some things that are public. So exactly how they feel they could sue me over it, I don't know. But I'm going to go with the risk because I've been threatened by them. America First Tea Party. Who is this? And can this be the last day? Can we do what we can to expose the America First Tea Party in a way it's gone? We will attempt that. Remember this here, number 72? All right? Remember the truck? Can you buy your way back into MAGA? Can you? Can you buy your way back into my MAGA heart? Just saying. Number 66. Do you know this lady? Do you know her? Now, this was sent to me yesterday. Do you know Angie Wong? Why would she get a stalking violence injunction against Stan Fitzgerald? This was sent to me. So they'll make they'll say, well, we're going to sue you. I didn't do this. This was sent to me. It was sent out. It's public. Why would she get a stalking order against this individual? We're going to look at that. Let's see, what else can we throw up here? Take that down. We got anything else? Let's see. Give me number 86. Now, I'm going to highlight. You remember, I get phone calls. How can we get our state representatives? How can we get our state senators to attend our meeting, take us serious? How can we get them to stop kissing the lobbyist ass? How can we put a halt to the swamp and this power over here over the voters? What can we do? Well, I know a way to get their interest. Once again, I know a way to start purging and cleaning the swamp. I know the first chemicals we could throw in there to clean that algae up, and I'm going to share it with you. Well, what's The Republican rally, Low Country Boil. The Low Country Boil down there in the 2nd District. What the hell's that got to do with anything? Well, you never know. Tune in. I'll tell you. It sounds a little fishy, a little stinky, a little corrupt, a little of this, a little of that, right after these messages on the Georgia Hour Plus today. Take a break. Welcome back. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching the Georgia Hour. The Georgia Hour on voiceofruralamerica.com. And so here we are. We're just a little early. Now, let me start out the Georgia Hour by saying this. We're not attacking anybody. We don't do that on this show. We get accused of that, but we don't attack people. Everything I'm about to tell you, I'm aware of. Everything I'm about to show you is public and has been put out there and sent to people publicly. I don't have anything on a confidential level that has been said to me. You can't share that. Nothing. Okay? So there's zero reason that they should have in any way whatsoever to sue or make threats to me, because the people I'm about to discuss with you have threatened me. No, I don't mean like, yes, they have threatened me. Okay. Take that down. My attorney will be in touch. If you say that again, all that has happened. Now, there's areas where I tie things together, and I'll be very clear when I tie those together that this is things that may be out there for you to decide on your own. And they're my opinion. Okay. So moving right along, I work on, and to some, it is laughable to some, but I work on what I call election security all the time. I do all the time, and I have for years, because I don't think anyone should vote illegally. I don't think anyone should illegally cast a vote. And I know people are going to come after me, and I know that, and that does not bother me in any way, shape, or form, as I would say. So I now work on what I call election security. I don't call it election integrity matters any longer, because that has been, I guess one way I'm going to put it, that has been bastardized, and the grifters that have all floated in our state use election integrity all the time. So number 43, I thought this could be a theme. Diane, I thought this could be a theme to the Georgia Hour, because Candace Taylor said, I'm going to bust Georgia's political crime syndicate wide open. I'm done with it. So since she actually does not have the time to do it because she's busy, I'm sure she's going to thank me for running with it. So I'm going to run with it, Candace. The Georgia Political Crime Syndicate wide open. We're going to do that for you and others. Take that down. So I received a phone call. I've been working on election security, and this upcoming legislative session, there are some things working in the upcoming legislative session that we hope passes and we can get to the governor's desk. Some things concerning the maybe paper ballots still, some things concerning the state election board, the Secretary of State's office, Eric removing us from Eric, our voter rolls, and so forth. And I received a call one day and said, Brian, what can we do? What can we do? We've traveled the whole state. We've held rallies. We hold press conferences. What can we do? We have Board of Election last year, virtually zero. There's been one or two, but zero state representatives come to the Board of Elections meeting. Zero state senators come to the Board of Elections meeting. Brad Raffensperger doesn't come and sit in the back, the Secretary of State. Chris Carr, the Attorney General, they don't come and sit in the back, listen to the Board of Election meeting. Josh McCoon, the chair of the Georgia GOP, doesn't come and sit in the back. We have press conferences about election law, election rules, our findings, what we want. No one, Josh McCoon, the Georgia GOP, he doesn't show up at the press conference and speak on our behalf about paper ballots when we know the President of the United States wants it. None of the lawmakers show up. Then I get calls all across. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. I get calls all across the state. Look, my Republican Party county meeting, I can't get I can't get my state representatives to show up at the meetings because they know, you really can't hurt them. I can't get my state senator to show up at the meetings. I've heard that all across the state. I've heard it. I went to the Cherokee County, Georgia. Now there's been other conventions and some may have shown up, but I was at the Cherokee County Republican Party convention this past Saturday. And correct me, and I doubt you're going to, because they gave all of them an opportunity on the stage. Congressman Barry Loudermilk was there, which I was like, oh, God, Barry Loudermilk. But anyhow, Congressman Barry Loudermilk, but the only state representative on the stage that came to the meeting, the convention. This is not just a meeting. This is their convention, was Charlize Byrd, State Representative Charlize Byrd. That's it. Not a state senator, not another state representative, no one. And I'm asked all the time, how do we turn this around? How do we get their attention? And I'm going to tell you this morning. Now, I'm going to use the word fear, but lawmakers do not want a certain amount of hassle. They don't. They don't want to go through the day, and they will eliminate hassle. You're not a hassle. I'm going to break all this down for you. So, where do we start? I'm going to start here and then back up. And I'm going to explain this. Give me 33. Now, this is Josh McCoon, the current chairman. All right. This is Josh McCoon, the current chairman of the Georgia Republican Party. And this is his very close friend, Travis Boughton. Now, Travis was the executive director of the Georgia Republican Party. He was removed so the RNC could send their guy to be the executive director of the Georgia Republican Party to watch over their money, my opinion. So right here. We're going to give you all the reasons, right? That's your chairman. All right. He's a nice guy. Now, here, number 36 is your chairman also. I'm going somewhere. I know what you're going to start. Well, he just doesn't like Josh. I'm going to answer what I just laid out for you. No, that's not it. Give me 36. Oh, I have two 36s. Do you have another 36? Did I send two? Is there a second 36? Please tell me there's a second 36. Check. If there's not, okay. So, anyhow.
I think I only have one 36.
Why do I have two 36s?
I don't know.
So you can't answer that one, huh?
Nope. What is on your other 36? Maybe you sent it with a different number.
I'm not telling you. Here it is. I'm going to send it. It says 36, but I don't want you to lose this 36. Did that make sense?
I think I comprehend.
Okay. So I just sent this to you. Wait a minute. No, I didn't. Now I did. All right. So take that down. So we have to get the first layer of the swamp extinguished. If we will return the first. Now, another thing, they have ruined, absolutely ruined, and I'm going to show you who has done this. All right. They've absolutely ruined the great movement called grassroots. They have. They've ruined this movement. I got a message last night from out of state. Someone that watches the show that used to live in Georgia said, what we have to do is motivate the grassroots. And I'm sorry to say, they have really ruined the movement. Now, going back, and I want you to hold on. The 36 that you originally had, I need. But I want you to give me 34 because I'm going to roll this out all together. All right. And here is number 30. There you go. No, I don't want that one. I want 33. I'll get to that one in a minute. So number 33, okay, Travis Bowden, Josh McCoon. Now, number 36, I just sent you, not the original, the one I just sent you. This happens to be your chairman, Josh McCoon, with John Geist, a very close friend of his, right? A former, I don't think he's still registered, a former Dominion lobbyist. Dominion lobbyist. You see, I'm going to paint the picture. They don't care what you think until you do what needs done. They don't care. Former Dominion lobbyist. In fact, this guy here, Josh McCoon, had the nerve. He'll claim I'm not being honest. But folks, I'm being honest. I was there. And thankfully, Bill Quinn went to the microphone and said, hey, by the way, how'd we get a Dominion lobbyist on our delegate list? And how'd we get a Dominion lobbyist on our delegate list that says Trump endorsed? How'd that happen? And then this guy, the thumbs upper, removed his name. Once Josh got caught. So I'm going to show you how to return the Georgia Republican Party, how to return Republicans, how to get your lawmakers to listen to you. If you don't make the first bold move, you're done. Now take that down. Now, number 34. Now, in normal times, the lady in the middle, Ginger Howard, is a very nice lady. Very nice lady. That's not our point today, okay? But here again is your chairman. And the big, tall guy, Mongo Thompson, now that's Jason Thompson, he is the Georgia Republican Party State Committee man, all right? big tall guy. The guy in the glasses there, that's Josh, and that's Ginger Howard. Now, Ginger, in most books, in the old days, Debbie Dooley, Candace Taylor, Sally Grubbs, in the old days, real conservatives would call her a rhino or establishment. But when you make the deal, you become one of them. I mean, you know, you have the Candace Taylor, happy birthday, my dear friend. Ginger, you would never see that in the past, okay? So we're going to explain them. Moving right along. Now, let's get to where we want to be, number 36. Now, number 36, that's BJ Van Gundy, and he just happens to be in the picture. But, now, the lady in purple, that's Debbie Dooley. Now, years ago, as I've reported, and our goal today is to break the chains and to just no more. No more. Now, Debbie's not beyond sending out a racist tweet, which she has on my family that she deleted. Now, Debbie will block you. This is Debbie Dooley, Crimson Tider, and the Tea Party. So we're going to go here, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to wrap all this up. You're going to understand when I'm finished today, number 73. How did she get started? 73. So you get emails called America First Tea Party. Right? America First Tea Party. Now, that is Debbie Dooley. Go back to number 36, and a common thread, Josh McCone. Now, there would have been a day where Debbie Dooley would call him establishment. Jason Thompson and Debbie Dooley go way back because Jason Thompson, the big guy, the large guy, his wife, Julianne Thompson, let's see what I have here. Give me number 62. Now, the big guy, pay attention, we're putting it all together. Jason Thompson, his wife, for 4 years, the Atlanta Tea Party, we just showed you, right, had two co-equal leaders. One was Dooley, and the other was Julianne Thompson, a former congressional aide and ex-communication director of the Georgia GOP. All right, communication director for the Georgia GOP. They spin right around. This is a swamp. This is a swamp that you have to clean out first. Now, I'm going to explain how is this going to get my lawmaker to listen to me. Oh, trust me, when I get done, if you do the right thing. She wasn't there for the Atlanta rally, but joined soon afterwards after the bailouts and what seemed like government spending out of control. I became an activist in the movement, Thompson said. So I'm going to go back. So look, Julianne was one of the original two co-equal leaders. So here's what happens. Let's go to here. Here's what happens. Give me number 73. So we have the Tea Party rally in D.C., 1 million people. Say, all right, Debbie Dooley. Remember Sean Hannity came to Atlanta? Remember that? Sean Hannity comes to Atlanta, and they have a big Tea Party rally in Atlanta. And Debbie Dooley's up there. Good for her. She's up there. And Julianne Thompson, with a husband who's an attorney, a former congressional aide, communication director for the GOP at one time, they know, look, hey, Debbie, we join up, this could be profitable. Now, those are my words. This could be profitable, right? So they're together for about 4 years. And in the interest of time here, they parted ways for a little while. Parted ways. There was a little problem in paradise. So this is where it started. Now, when they parted ways, Dooley, and they'll say, oh, he's wrong about this, he's wrong about that. Well, okay, correct me. But Dooley got custody. What did she get custody of? Now, to their credit, they were smart enough to build an email base. So, when you go somewhere and you got a hot movement and you want to be a part of it and you want updates, give me your email. They were smart enough to build an email base. And when Debbie Dooley, which now they're back together, now Julianne Thompson and Jason Thompson, that I'm aware of, are not officially back in America First Tea Party. Not officially, but they're friends once again. All right? Now, but they're smart enough to build an email base. Smart enough. And Dooley, when they split, got custody. There may have been some legal things. I don't know. But Debbie Dooley ended up with custody of the email chain. Right? And by the way, can you out there, no matter how long you've known Debbie Dooley, can you call me today and tell me what job she has had, where she worked, what she did, what her employment was? Can you share that with me? So she got custody of the emails. Now, the email was quite an extensive list, large list. So I've been told this. This is where they're going to come. I have been told this. I've been told this. All right? And this is where she says it's not true. That Debbie doesn't sell the email list, but for a fee. Now, this is what I'm being told. This is all I know. For a fee, I've heard, and some others have heard, she could use the email list and participate in attacking you. Now, for years, if one lawmaker, maybe, you never know, made it worth, had some value, there may be an email go out attacking lawmakers. Now, that's what's happened in the past for years. A certain bill, and I know this for a fact, for several years, because of the size of the email list, for several years, lawmakers, I've had some, multiple, not just one, multiple, call me and say, where's her money come from? Who backs her? That's been a conversation for a long time, right? Who backs this person? Where's the money come from? So that being said, this in the past, it did upset lawmakers. If 20,000 or whatever she's got emails go out, it could get the phones to ringing. It could get people fired up against lawmakers, because at this time, you may have felt there was credibility, right? Now, I hope after today, lawmakers all through the state, if you get an email from this individual, hit delete. Don't worry. If this individual says, We're going to rally and primary you, hit delete. Don't worry. This is not relevant anymore. But lawmakers for years got concerned. Now we're going to start turning how this can be stopped and you can become relevant to your lawmakers. So I'm going to give you the master plan. So now Dooley here, number 36, right? Now this is what I've been told. Like I said, I mean, as you know, you're receiving, now she is, what I understand, a hit woman for hire. That's what I hear. Okay? That's what I hear. That's what I don't know. Just hear that. You hear it too. You know that. Because she my understanding, she has no revenue. My understanding, she's lived in about 5 or 6 different locations just in the last 2 years because she's got to bounce around. We all hear this. We're in politics in Georgia. So this is not like a secret. All right. The lady has definitely told me at times, look, I've invited her to come to, I don't even have gas money to get there right now. I swear it's not true, but I know it is to me. Now, that being said, so people are saying, number 35, Debbie Dooley, I'm going to tie it all up. Number 35, people are saying Debbie Dooley is tied up with Sally Grubbs. Debbie Dooley has used, it's come back to me, it came from the Georgia GOP, Candace Taylor, Sally Grubbs, Jason Thompson. That's that's the phone calls I get. But they used Debbie Dooley to go after me with full attacks, right? They used Debbie Dooley to go after Jason Frazier with full attacks. He was running against Jason Thompson. They've used Debbie Dooley. When I say that, Debbie Dooley has. Maybe she did it on her own, out of the kindness of her heart, for the love of her state and country. She used her platform to attack David Cross, right? She'll use at any given time to do anything racist. And I'm not taking up for anybody. She's used her platform to attack Kylie Kramer. She's used her platform to attack Amy Kramer. I'm just saying. Now, I don't know whether you agree or not, right? She's used her platform, and it has become evident to most people that from the old days of working Tea Party, real Tea Party issues, trying to elect Tea Party like-minded candidates, trying to really be grassroots, she has switched her whole game plan to attack, maybe for hire. But it's all the time. And who is pushing those strings, and where is maybe that dark money coming from? Maybe. Where are they coming from? Because this is not a coincidence. So she is the chair of Cobb County GOP. She wants to be first vice chair. Now, Debbie Dooley has leveraged, number 37, an enormous amount of attacks on this lady here, Sophia, right? Now, all of those people behind Sophia in that picture is the slate of candidates when elected, this entire slate, not just Sophia Farouk, the entire group will be in charge of the Georgia Republican Party in Cobb County. But according to Debbie Dooley and the attacks on Sophia, right? I'm going to say this, and I like Sophia. I know her, okay? I know this lady. It's a very kind lady, very hard worker for the party. You make your own judgment. But Debbie Dooley should not be your judgment. You leave it up to Debbie Dooley. The woman is planning, according to Debbie Dooley, not me, and no, she's not. But according to Debbie Dooley, you would think she's planning a terrorist attack in Atlanta as soon as she can get elected GOP chair. Not when she worked for Cobb County GOP for the last several years, doing everything she could as a volunteer, giving no indication she would harm anyone. But that's neither here nor there. She is released, Debbie Dooley's released 4 relentless attacks on this lady. Why? Now, she will do everything she can. So, who called her on Fulton County? Now, right, wrong, or indifferent. So, this is number 83. You got to stay close to the end for me to explain to you very clearly on what steps you have to take, and I promise you will get lawmakers' attention. Now, so she has me blocked. Debbie Dooley has me blocked because she got upset because I thought she would want me to save all of her tweets she deleted where her and Candace and her and others throughout the state, and she had a change of heart. Debbie had a change of heart on Candace. Debbie had a change of heart on people. And I thought she would want those in case she ever had to go back to disliking them, and it upset her. And when I sent her a message and asked her about her racial attack on my family, she deleted her post and I was blocked. But Debbie, for you, in case you need that racist post you made about my family, I do have it for you. Now, 83. Sources tell me that yet another election is about to be stolen in Fulton County. Who the hell? Sources tell you. This time, it's the Fulton County Republican Party officer election. Sources tell me that Chair Stephanie Andres and her team are trying to rig the officer election, but not following the Georgia GOP call and lying by first claiming the Georgia GOP parliamentarian authorized her to make changes. Now, who calls Debbie and says, we need to go after Fulton County? Now, I don't know. I know Stephanie Andres, not taken up. But who are these people that say, hey, Debbie, could you run another attack? Maybe we heard too many people in Fulton might vote for who? David Cross? We've heard too many people in Cobb County might vote for who for chair? David Cross? So the Georgia GOP parliamentarian made it clear he absolutely did not. If shenanigans continue, the entire Fulton delegation will be at risk of not seated at the GOP state convention. Now, this is the day Crimson Tider needs to be no more, okay? Because let me tell you exactly, though I know what they're all saying and what they will say, but let me tell you what this is. She's trying to disqualify Fulton County? Why? Maybe the people there are not on board with Josh? Maybe, I don't know. Why? Shame on Andres and her team. Andres and her team are using Democrat tactics to steal an election, according to sources. 3 times, her sources. Democrats stealing an election. Debbie tries to alter and rig everything. Everything. Wonder how much. Now, give me 84. Now, I know who this is because what I will not do on the program is I generally never come on the program and I will not put up tweets. I do not just find tweets out there. I still call them tweets on X and post them if I don't know who's behind them. I don't do that. Okay? I'm very cautious. There's people that have fake accounts. There's people in other states that try to come in. So this right here, What Matters in Georgia, replied to Crimson Tider. Who's your source, Debbie? Without naming them? This attack lacks credibility and is widely seen as election interference. I do agree. And you manipulating a Fulton County GOP election for another party? Who's behind this? Voters can attend candidate forums and judge for themselves. No need for baseless allegations against Stephanie Andres. Now, I don't disagree with that. Now, I don't know the details. I'm not going to get involved in that county. Only Debbie, I don't know. Who's making this claim and why hide behind you instead of going public about stealing another election? Why would they go to Debbie? Why would they go to Debbie, right? If not seating the Fulton County delegation at the GAGOP convention is in play, your source seems tied to the GAGOP leadership, possibly close to Josh McCoon. I didn't write this. You always think I just don't like Josh. I didn't write it, but I know what happened. Ooh, wow. Why not? Why no professionally guidance for Stephanie if she's arid? Instead of using you to attack and sway Fulton County GOP elections. Now, I want to stop there. Let's see. I think, give me 85. I wanted deliverables, government of by for the people. The GOP lost big by ousting George Santos, handing the seat to Democrats, who are far worse. Your unnamed source and their refusal to speak openly undermine your credibility. Step up or step aside. Not backroom games. Now, that being said, all right, Josh McCoon, the Georgia GOP. Now, he seems as though he's very innocent. Now, Josh is great at plausible deniability. Absolutely great at it. He really is. He has people out there like number 87, for example. All right. Number 87. The Godzilla of bullshit. Now, I have said this over and over, and I'll look you right in the eye. This is absolutely the worst thing that's happened to Georgia politics is John Fredericks. But he endorses Josh McCoon for GAGOP chairman. Keep winning with Josh McCoon. Now, is Josh going to be in place for 2026 to help turn Kemp, help turn others MAGA? Is he? Now, let me tell you this. Let me get to this right here. So let me give you a little background on our You remember this, number 61? Now, when the Tea Party faded a little bit and she was trying to raise money, oh yeah, Debbie will do that. Debbie Dooley making the Tea Party in America a little greener? Remember when, I'll never forget, I got a phone call. The guy is dead and gone. I don't care to say it. I got a call from Frank, my dearest friend. I love him. He's dead and gone. He calls me up and he said, "What's Dooley doing here? I don't know about this green tea. Did she sell out to someone?" This is what was said to me. December 18th, 2014. Citizens on how to respond to an invasion or any other imminent threat. The dramatic move comes as tensions rise in Europe and fears grow over Russia's aggressive tactics. Number 73. I thought I would Google it and see if AI. Here's number 73. France is set to issue a survival manual to households across the country, warning citizens how to respond for an invasion. The dramatic move comes as tensions in Europe grows, fears grow over Russian aggressive tactics. So I said, okay, let me see how many news outlets. And so give me 74, the Daily Express. This is over there across the pond. Panic in France. Yahoo. France issues survival manual. Daily Mail, protect yourself from those around you. Yes. Daily Record, French citizens receive survival manual. Now, this is from a man, Macron, right? 43. This is from Macron, a man in France who is sending you a survival guide, and he's married to a man. Yep. That there is a man. Mm-hmm. All right, take that down. That's tough. Now, so the French, that's what they are doing. Now, one more thing. The Houthi. Now, I'm very concerned about war. I do not like war. I'm concerned that we're going to have, I have it here. Let's see, where's it at? See if I have it. That's French issues. So give me number 36. Now, this is the Houthi rebels. And the Houthi rebels are backed by Iran. Now, I do not want a war. Now, I don't have time this morning to go into the Gaza and Israel and what's going on there. I get it. So many of you study that. But all the red dots are attacks. The red zone is Houthi-controlled area in Yemen. And it's right there at Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, Somalia. All right? And they're controlled, the Yemen rebels, or the Houthi rebels, are controlled in Yemen by Iran. All right? All the red dots are attacks, terrorist attacks from them in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden on our military ships or civilian carriers that civilian freight carriers, okay? And that right there, you see the area. Now, just to show you the map a little closer, number 35, you'll see the map. And this is a shipping lane. Now, I do not want to go to war with Iran, but things are heating up in that way, and it concerns me. So you can see Yemen, You can see up there the Suez Canal, the Red Sea, getting out to, what is that sea out there? The big sea, whatever. Sorry about that. But you see the area. Now, Iran is all the way up here, but they want to shut the shipping lanes there in Yemen. So, let's see. I have it here. Where is Iran? Hold tight there. Where is... give me number 4. All right. Now, this is very concerning to me. Not that CNN has an accurate story here, but Israel intercepts ballistic missile fired by the Houthis. Now, we have been attacking the Houthi rebels, us, the Americans. We have been attacking them in Yemen for what now, a week? Israel intercepts ballistic missile fired by Houthis, not Iran. A ballistic missile headed towards Israel. I am concerned that this is an attempt to start a war in Iran. So, war is big business, very big business. All right? Give me number 62. And it is actually so large, it's scary. Now, this is a chart of U.S. dominates global arms exports, share of global exports of major conventional weapon systems and components, right? You have 2015 to 2019. It looks to have slowed, and that would be Donald Trump, okay? Look at what happened when Biden from 2020 to 24 took office. Look at that. Now, we've talked about it many times. That great Biden economy, the economy that is the envy of the world. The economy that every time we talk about cutting out funding for Ukraine, they spin back around. People like even Mitch McConnell and Joe Scarborough and all of them say, well, you ought to understand, it's creating jobs right here at home. Folks, we don't need to be in a position where we create jobs that results in killing people. You got it? That's not what we should do. We should not create jobs that results in killing people. So, as you can see, the U.S. during Donald Trump's administration, 35 billion or 350 billion? I forget how it's set there. Aircraft, armed vehicles, artillery, radar system, air defense, etc. It went up to, is that 43 billion or 40? Is that just 43 billion? Look at what it went up to. And look at the difference in America versus every other country in the world. Every other one. We are exporting arms. I mean, it's one of our largest industries. And it should not be. It should not be. Creating arms for military should only be in when needed, when it's needed. All right, so moving right along, you have, let's not forget, I want to put this out, 25. This is not really something that they're putting a lot of highlight on because this could be a positive and have Donald Trump's name. Russia and Ukraine exchange 175 prisoners of war on each side. Okay, they exchange these prisoners of war. Donald Trump had a conversation with Zelensky yesterday, and Donald Trump's moving forward. They will not give him credit for anything. Look at the 2 astronauts. They don't even say thank you. Forget Zelensky going in the Oval Office and saying thank you. We don't even, our media. I mean, do you think Kelly out in Arizona, a senator? Now, I don't know. Did he? Did he say thank you? He's a former astronaut. Number 20. Now, I want to get through these because I've got to go and get to the Georgia Hour. Number 20. This is Jerome Powell. The Fed holds rates steady amid unusual high uncertainty. All right, April 2nd, we will have number 21. As you can see, the Fed, right? Give me video 10.
How much of the higher inflation forecast for this year is due to tariffs? And since the policy path remains the same, are you effectively reading this as a one-time price level shock?
Okay, so how much of it is tariff? So let me say that it is going to be very difficult to have a precise assessment of how much of inflation is coming from tariffs and from other, and that's already the case. You may have seen that goods inflation moved up pretty significantly in the first 2 months of the year. Trying to track that back to actual tariff increases, given what was tariffed and what was not, very, very challenging. So some of it, the answer is clearly some of it. A good part of it is coming from tariffs, but we'll be working, and so will other forecasters, to try to find the best possible way to separate non-tariff inflation from tariff inflation.
So we have our weather forecasters that, sorry out there, that have struggled throughout the past to get the weather correct. sorry, just a joke. But we have our weather forecasters and we have our financial forecasters. And they are testing the winds and they're checking everything, the barometer and whatever it is out there. And they've got a rain gauge. They got all the above. And they're to forecast. Now, let me tell you something. I watched the Deep State Corporate Corrupt Mockingbird Media. Remember, we did it on this show every day. Trump couldn't say no recession. It sent the markets into a stale spin of uncertainty. He was asked, you can't guarantee. And then Scott Bessent, he went on Face the Nation or whatever. Can you guarantee there won't be a recession? No one makes those kind of predictions. Oh my God, oh my God. The sky is falling. Please, stock market crash, anything and everything. Jump out the closest window. There, and the indicators have moved closer to we're not sure. We don't know if it's real, possible recession. I watched it for days. Now, if Jerome Powell indicated a recession, now he is not on our side. Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve is the Federal Reserve, but it's not federal. You understand? We need to get rid of the Federal Reserve. We need to audit it, find out where our money's at, make them some kind of buyout deal to pay them off, get them the hell out of here and take back over our country and our finances. Moving right along. If at any time yesterday he would have made mention of recession headed in that direction, it could possibly happen. It would have been a 5-alarm fire last night on all the networks. It would have been a 5-alarm fire at 4 a.m. when I turned on here. It would have been a 5-alarm fire on the markets today. Morning Joe would have opened up with it. NBC, CNN, Jerome Powell predicts that once they look at and they do the forecast into the future, a recession could happen, but they're not for sure. Oh my God. He could not go that distance yesterday. If he did, let me know, because I don't think it happened or it would have went nuts. So, but they are, don't get confused. The Fed is they propped up Biden knowing it was a phony economy with printed fake money, and now they're trying to take down this economy. All right, so as we go to break, give me number 63. Remember these guys? They got a raise. They got a promotion. You remember this? The 2 IRS agents who risked their career by blowing the whistle on the tax agency treatment for Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son. Give me number 75. IRS Hunter Biden whistleblowers. The Treasury Department is bringing on 2 IRS whistleblowers to probe the Biden administration's handling of the investigation of Hunter Biden's tax practices. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. That's Scott. Bam, Scott. I tell you what, he's mild-mannered, he's quiet, he's even, but he gets things done that Scott does. Scott is bringing these 2 guys on board. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced Tuesday that Gary Shapley and Joseph Ziegler, who alleged there was political interference in the Hunter Biden investigation, would be senior advisors at the department. They're going to the investigation division of the Department of Treasury. I really think Trump's trying. I really do. All right, so let's go with this one. I was going to end. We got to go. This might have a bad word. I can't remember if it has a bad word, Diane, because it's Joe Rogan, but it's Mike Benz. And I want to roll the tape before we go to the Georgia Hour. Can you give me video 11?
Unfold. One of the things that I've been seeing is that there's been legal action to try to halt some of it. They've been told to destroy any information that they got from certain databases. Like, what's your take on this, and whether any of that is going to hold up?
Oh, 100%. Well, 100. I don't know if it's going to hold up. I think it's going to be a legal dogfight. This is, it's funny because it's sort of a circular dragon eating its own tail, because you're going after the primary soft power projection organ of the blob, because it's been weaponized against Americans. But what is the blob authorized to do? What is USAID authorized to do under statute? Well, something they call judicial reform, which is USAID poaching, funding financially the networks around judges, around courts, around the legal system, around the governance structure of every country on planet Earth. I mean, and Jamie, if you want to just go through a fun exercise right now, you can even put on screen just a simple Google search so people can see just how open source this is. And I can walk through specific damning examples of this. But if you just type in on Google the word USAID and then in a Boolean quotes, judicial reform, and what you're going to see are, basically 100 countries that USAID is going after the judges, going after the legal system in order to rig the scales of justice in favor of the foreign policy establishment's interest there. And this has fully come home. And I can go through.
There's an interview that you probably want to watch the entire interview. I mean, we just scratched the surface here in a couple hours. All right, folks, we're going to take a break. When we return, it's time for the Georgia Hour. We will have some legislative updates. Some power plays happening. Diane, I want number 39 and 40. Some power plays happening in politics in Georgia? Will we get some election reform? Will the Supreme Court, Georgia Supreme Court, say that we were within our rights as the Board of Elections to put rules in last year? A lot going on. Don't forget, this is the FBI. I didn't want that guy knocking on my front door. Wow. It's the FBI. And there, oh my God, once again, a DEI hire, 2 DEI hires at the FBI. Brown people took over the FBI. I've loved that all week long. Take a break, the Georgia Hour, when we return.
When Truck Month is here, the Silverados disappear at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Pick your Silverado 1500 Crew Cab and save up to $12,500. And if you think the discount is big, wait till you see the selection. Come save up to $12,500 off Silverado 1500 Crew Cabs at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks. I'm your host, BKP. Welcome to the Georgia Hour on voiceofruralamerica.com. It's not the size of the network, but the truth of the network. So, a couple things I want to go over because we are in the Georgia legislative session. And number 156, if you receive an email right here, hi, Diane, how are you? If you receive an email and this is on the top of the email, okay, this is on the top right here, beware, it may be from a virus. Yes, if you receive that, it may be, I don't know, it may be from a virus. And we call that virus in Georgia Debbie Dooley. Now take that down. All right. So moving right along. We have, and I want you to put these updates because we want to go through some updates first. And well, Diane, can you go to the website? Do you know the website I sent you? Are you able to do that? Because if you're not in your, okay. Now, if she can put the website up, I want you to see the website where you can go and look at all of the legislation, the status on it, get updates, and so forth. If you're not able to put the website, I'm good with that. Okay, so there it is. There it is. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Diane. She's not in her main studio today because of the inconvenience of not having power. But see, welcome to Mountain Legislative Watch Group. Actually, I forgot the name of the website. Is it mountainlegislativewatchgroup.org or I don't have the name of the actual site. But if you'll go and search mountainlegislativewatchgroup.org, you will find it. You can see the latest reports, how a bill becomes a law, and all the updates. Can you only put a screenshot or can you scroll? If you can, I'm good. All right, we'll get off of that if you can only do a screenshot. As you can see, you scroll down very slow, stop there. You have the Senate, you have the State House of Representatives, the Mountain Legislative Watch Group. You go on down. They do it with a Christian perspective, with an eye on reducing government, legislative search, and there's the group, and about them, contact, and you can join their group. When you join the group, you will also be able to help provide information on studies that you're doing on legislation. Now, here are some updates that they have available, and go ahead and take the website down because I just want to show you. It's very important. We're closing in on Sine Die. Give me number 98, Diane. You go ahead and take that down. And here is an alert, okay? And they're asking, you can see the bills that they're asking. You could take a copy of this right here. You can get on their email list. You can contact them for the alerts. You can see the bills that they are suggesting that we get passed: SB 177, SB 30, SB 120, SB 52, SB 175. There's details on all of those bills, okay? Then, for example, SB 175 is a bill that is entitled An Act to Amend Article 1, Chapter 2, Title 21 of the Official Code of Georgia, anointed related to the general provisions regarding elections and primaries, so as to prohibit the use of ranked choice voting. All right? Prohibit the use of ranked choice voting. So these are the kind of alerts they have out there. Defeat these bills: SB 199, SB 131. You can see the reasons. And a call to action, number 99. Call to action: call your senator, stop these bills. Now, HB 141, all right. HB 268, government surveillance without parents' knowledge, a bad bill. Senate read and referred bill, bad bill, kill it, call Brian Kemp. Now you can see we need a veto. You're going to start seeing these updates. If you join this group, you can actually, if you join, you can be active, give them your opinion of what you research in the bills. But as you know, SB 144, we are calling for the governor to veto that. That is the bill, Diane. That is the one. Our call to action on that one is, give me 42. We're calling for the governor of Georgia to please veto 144. It is the glyphosate, right? Monsanto's bill. Call Governor Kemp. Ask him, please, to veto that bill. It came out of the Senate. It's SB. That means it originated in our Georgia State Senate. It came out, went over to the House. The House made no changes, meaning it did not have to go back to the Senate. It passed the House. It is sitting, waiting for Governor Kemp's signature. So that is a call to action that we have right there. All right, so before we get into a little bit of politics, all right, give me 84. Again, thank you, Diane. I know it's a little different today. GOP division derails religious liberty vote in Georgia for now. The effort to revive Georgia's controversial religious liberty legislation stalled in the House committee Wednesday after 2 Republicans joined Democrats to oppose. It failed the committee, a Republican-controlled committee. Are you ready? The measure could come up for another vote, but the Republican pushback to the bill Democrats have long rejected was another reminder of how divisive the legislation remains after a long decade. You remember, we tried to get this passed with Nathan Deal. We've tried to get this with Republicans for years. Now it's 85. The unexpected vote came after 4 hours of emotional testimony over the measure, which was once the most polarizing issue under the Gold Dome, but has most recently been eclipsed by other culture war feuds. Republican State Representative Deborah Silcox, who represents a swing. Now, I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to read. A swing district. Now, I'm not telling you I understand when she does the polling that she's worried about this district, but watch. A swing district voted against the bill after her effort to add an anti-discrimination clause was rejected by GOP-led committee. She was joined in rejecting this by Stan Gunther in Blairsville. Union County, Stan Gunter. Now, Stan's a Democrat. Stan is a damn Democrat. We all know Stan is a damn Democrat. Bottom line, there's not a damn thing Republican about Stan. Sorry, one too many dams. So, the 7-5 vote against the measure set off a frenzy in the committee, which quickly moved to the adjourn. Religious conservatives in Georgia have long pushed to pass the legislation modeled after the Federal Religious Freedom Restoration Act of 1993 to provide an extra layer of legal protection for people of faith from government interference. Now, but critics have framed the legislation as thinly veiled effort to sanction discrimination against the LGBTQ Georgians and warn that its passage could bring steep economic backlash. Remember when we were going to put it in place and we were trying to get Nathan Deal? Remember that? Remember every movie, right? Every movie company. Remember everybody, the economic backlash. So just letting you know, that bill looks like it may fail once again, as close as we came to it. And if it fails, it's not really the Sandy Springs representative, but it is Stan Gunter in Blairsville, Georgia. We can thank in North Georgia, Union County voted probably 80% for Donald Trump. And here comes Stan to go against, it didn't get out of committee. Stan Gunter. Wow. All right. Now, next. Let's go to, I want to get, I'll do that when it comes to politics. Now, this right here, we will make this very brief. When I say that, we'll make it very brief. But tort reform. Fate of Brian Kemp's Priority 87. Fate of Brian Kemp's priority bill rests on likely House vote today. This is the tort reform. Now, number 88. It's put up or shut up time for Governor Brian Kemp's push to limit lawsuits. Bearing a seismic change, the Republicans plan to rewrite legislation rules is headed for the House vote today, barring a seismic change. Nothing's changing, okay? Likely the last major legislative hurdle it faces. The question won't be whether the measure passes. House Speaker John Burns and other Kemp allies won't bring it to a vote if the outcome is in doubt, but rather whether any other changes are needed to win over wavering Republicans. So the tort reform bill. From the beginning, they knew you would fight it. From the beginning, they knew the challenges would come because you have the insurance lobbyist over here pushing Brian Kemp, right? And from the beginning, they knew where the backlash, they knew the lobbyists that would fight against them, they knew the base that would fight against them, the group, sex trafficking, one thing, they had this all figured out from the beginning. So what they did is they ran a game plan, all right? You go over here, you go over here, you go over here, Omaha hike. That's what they did. So the governor put a bill out there, got everybody whooped into a frenzy in the Senate. If you don't do it my way, I'll bring you back in the special session. And then the AJC writes an article, and then everybody's whooped up, right? And they got to pass it. So they make one adjustment in the Senate so it could look like there was some pushback, and that came from Bo Hatchett, an attorney. And if this attorney got on board, he gave a passionate speech, so it must be okay. And that was the Senate's playbook. So they sent it over to the House. Now the House has to look like, act like. Some people back home, we'll call it back home, some in some districts that are getting pressure, they got to act like they're fighting for their district, fighting for their people, listening to their constituents, all the above. The act is in. Right? So the House has a couple tweaks, barring a seismic change. They have a couple tweaks. It will go through the House today. Let's put a little wager on it, and then it'll go to the governor's desk. There will be no special session, right? No special session. We had that second threat. Remember the second threat? If you don't do it over there, I'll call you in the special session. Just watch, right? All the drama, everything gets voted on today. The governor will sign it. And guess what? When it gets to the governor's desk, it is probably looks exactly like it started in the planning mode when they put the game plan in place. That's how they do it in Georgia. You can't make this up. I don't want to go to that one. I don't want to go to Chris Carr right now trying to act. All right, I want to go to this one, number 92. And I'm going to cut it off here in about 4 minutes, Diane, because I want to get to a full half hour of politics. Okay, 92, AJC Politics. Georgia Supreme Court questions state election board on last-minute voting rule changes. All right, so last year, this is a big one. This is one you have to pay attention to because just like the federal government, they ran to a lower court, right? So the Georgia Board of Elections, State Board of Elections, which they say is tipped to the right with Republicans. They say it has Republican control, right? Rules were passed well within the authority, but legal challenges came in from the left. They found the judge they needed, right? And the judge said, no, they look like laws, not rules, and you can't make new laws. And they struck them down. Now, this case is going all the way to the Georgia Supreme Court, and the arguments have been made. So we got to keep an eye on this. This will be big for future election law or rules that the state election board can make. So the Georgia Supreme Court debated Wednesday whether the state election board went too far when it attempted to pass new voting rules weeks before the last election. The case tests whether the board's right-wing majority has the power to require election inquiries and hand counts of ballots without laws passed by the Georgia General Assembly. While a judge order stopped those proposals from taking effect, the question remains about the extent of the board's power. All right? We need to turn that into law, the board's power. Justices, give me 93 justices on the state's highest court on Wednesday often interrupted attorneys to ask whether the state board has the authority to create new policy. It does seem that some of these rules look a lot like sort of setting up their own mini set of laws that govern that aren't connected to anything in the code, says Justice Andrew Pinson during oral arguments held yesterday. So, listen, they're saying these look a lot like mini laws. They're not in code. You can't pass law. You don't have that authority. Justice Sarah Hawkins Warren said separation of powers between branches of government is a big deal. The exact question that is trying to be answered here is this permissible? Does this exceed authority? The court will rule in the coming months on the appeal of Fulton County judge's decision to overturn the state election board's rules before the November election. Now, 94, the appeal pits Republican-led organization Eternal Vigilance Action against the State Board of Election and Republican Party. All right, they're going after us. A lower court's decision to rein in the board, while the state wants the court to reinstate the election board rules. The founder of the United States and Georgia created clear lines between the roles of legislative, judicial, and executive branches. It could lead to tyranny without separation of powers. It was that big of a deal that we want to ensure that these things are separate and apart. Now, won't have time for that. Give me number 95. Let's go straight to 96. There's 95, 96, the entire article. Now, here is the end. And not that I'm advocating for the AJC and saying this is a great article. After Republican Donald Trump won Georgia by 115,000 votes, county election boards unanimously certified the results without any controversy over vote counting procedures. The state election board tried to change. So keep in mind that sentence. They argue the rule was not needed. I've told you that for 2026. We'll talk about that at a different time. They argue that every county in the state certified the election without any controversy over vote counting, right? So why did the board try to do that? That's their argument. The Georgia Supreme Court's decision could have a far-reaching impact. If the court rules the state election board has the authority to change election rules, its Republican majority could resume efforts to impose vote counting requirements on election officials, or a court decision against the board could constrain it to do its job of reviewing investigations of fraud and irregularities. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. All right. So there's a little bit of what's happening in Georgia. Let's come back. Let's ask, can you buy MAGA cred and the Georgia GOP? I have told you, if you want lawmakers to pay attention to you, if you say, how can we get this turned around? You must not, only way I can put it, be fooled that Josh McCoon and his slate of candidates, Sally Grubbs and others, that they are the people to lead. They've bastardized, sorry for that, the word grassroots, right? They call themselves grassroots. Josh wants to build on the momentum that he does not have for 2026. But I guarantee you, we could get our lawmakers' ear once again if we start draining the swamp in our party. Take a break.
When Truck Month is here, the Silverados disappear at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Pick your Silverado 1500 Crew Cab and save up to $12,500. And if you think the discount is big, wait till you see the selection. Come save up to $12,500 off Silverado 1500 Crew Cabs at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. You're watching the Georgia Hour with BKP. Thank you very much on voiceofruralamerica.com. Voiceofruralamerica.com. So, let me go here, and we're going to have to get out at 11. But I want to show you this because I asked. First of all, number 33, we are in the election cycle right now, number 33. And this is an upcoming event. Now, they may update the flyer if they get more candidates, but for statewide office. Now, I don't know this because I didn't ask, but somebody said yesterday they're charging money. And I got a phone call that says, they're charging money for this? Is this a fundraiser? Well, I can't answer for them, but if you look, it's going to be at the Gainesville Civic Center. All right. You have to rent those rooms. So they have to pay for the room, number one. And there's going to be a barbecue buffet at the same time. So I don't know if everything goes to offsetting the cost, but it's a group. And let me tell you, I had somebody else. Now, ma-ga.org is a group that came together. They're primarily over in Gainesville, and they have a meeting every Tuesday, and they created a group to put out information, do events, and they're MAGA, and this is their group. So, if you want, there's phone numbers on here, and don't go anywhere and make comments and one thing after another. There are phone numbers on the bottom for the event organizers. If you have a question, call them and ask these questions. But somebody called me yesterday and said, "Oh, there's messages going on in this group, and this is being said." Look, I know Tom Talbot. I'm not a member of this group. I do go to their meetings from time to time. They're amazing people, but I'm not like the official member here. And I'm not their spokesperson. Want to be clear. So I can't speak for them. But I know Ron Hooper 15 years and Tom, 5 or 6 maybe now. But for quite some time, they're both great guys. They're MAGA. Their numbers are there. And they're putting this together for you to get information. You can have a nice meal also. But anyhow, so the food lines start, seating and food lines at 6 o'clock. Don't forget when to get in the grub. Alex Johnson is he's with the GRA, NFRA chairman. He is the chairman of the NFRA, Alex Johnson, moderator. I'm okay with that. And at the time for state chairman candidate, David Cross is the only one that's committed, but you have vice chair Sally Grubbs, Alice Olenek, and Lisa Pierce. They have committed to be at the event. Second vice chair Noreen Cantor, Jeff Della Maggiano, is that Maggiano? Maggiorero? I'm so sorry, Jeff. Please accept my apology. And Lori McLean, and 9th District Chairman. Now, I'm in the 9th District. Just a little side note. Stephen Aaron. Brian Parker's running for 9th District. Stephen Aaron from Gilmer County, and I don't want to have a bad light on Gilmer County. He is running for 9th District Chairman. Okay? The next time he speaks anywhere and you're in the room, would you ask Stephen Aaron, say, did you vote in the presidential primary for Nikki Haley? Did you vote in the presidential primary for Nikki Haley? Ask him. See what he says. I know how he should answer, but you ask him. And then the next time he's in the room, I don't care to tell this. I don't care. Ask him and use my name if he told me, sitting at dinner one night, looked at me and said, Donald Trump is now the nominee. He's the nominee. We know he's going to be the nominee. Okay? We know he's going to win the nomination. Ask him at that dinner if he looked at me, used my name, and told me the best way Donald Trump could unify the party would be to pick Nikki Haley for VP. Ask him that. Just saying. Okay, so that event's coming up. Now, let's go here. And I brought this up yesterday for a reason. Now, there's political moves being made, and I told you we're so close to the sine die and the end of the legislative session. So number 54, right? So most of you, when you saw Brian Kemp tweet this out, you thought, that can't be real. Now, I didn't have time this morning. I was working on stuff. I was concerned with Diane being able to get everything going this morning. And if you did not get something, we can get it to you. Let us know. And our reruns will play on all of our networks. And on Rumble, you can get all of our segments if something did not come through for you today. Anyhow, 54. And I'm going to get to Tom Holman. Diane said I should do that yesterday, and she's correct. We're using every tool to our disposal to arrest criminals here illegally and keep hard-working Georgians safe. ICE should train some Georgia officers to enforce immigration law locally, Kemp says. So we got to thinking, and we played the video yesterday. Wait a minute. Is this the same guy, number 55, that when he ran in 2018 and Donald Trump endorsed him, we all know the deport criminal illegals in the famous big truck. Now, what you do if you're in politics and you have enough money to do it, you ignore everything and plow forward. Why is this guy making certain moves? Because, like I told you when we opened the show, on Monday, he's not running for Senate. On Tuesday, maybe. On Wednesday, no, he's definitely not. I mean, I have been told by two people, and I'm not saying this is the case. I want to be clear, but I've had two people, one out of D.C., say he wants to be on the ticket with J.D. Vance in 2028, and he's going to take a hiatus. I don't know. But it's all over the map. But recently, he is becoming very MAGA. Now, I showed you yesterday the headline, and then I showed you this one here. Diane, give me number 91. It's so noticeable, even Patricia Murphy made mention and said, what's going on here? Brian Kemp and Chris Carr. Patricia Murphy, it's always her opinion, no matter what they put up there. After years of battles, Georgia Republicans are all in on Trump. So hang on, buckle up. Really? Ready? Buckle up. This is Brian Kemp. Diane, give me, I'm pretty sure. Then I'm going to go to the next one. I thought I had a Brian Kemp here. Here it is. Give me 83. I mean, I have to tell you, I need to know from you. Are you going to let him buy after 2020, after the election, after the big truck stayed parked with cobwebs on it and he had to dust it off, right? It's like one of those old movies where you went into a barn and you uncovered a truck and you're like, wow, look at this. Under my direction, right, has been requesting training from ICE to better assist them with immigration enforcement. But make no mistake, our brave state law enforcement officers are already working hard to arrest criminals here illegally and keep our community safe. Now, would you think, now Channel 2, is that Cox Communication? Is Channel 2 AJC? I don't know. But would you think that it's only CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, NBC, all the above that carry the water for the federal government or the deep state in the federal government? Or do you think our media would carry the water when necessary for our governor? Right? What about Lincoln Riley? What about the NGOs at the airport? What about the illegals being flown into Atlanta? What about the video? What about them getting off the buses? What about the lady over here that was butchered up in the bathtub? Over and over and over. Can this guy, will you let this guy, give me video 8, Diane.
We hit the highway with Georgia State Patrol Sergeant David Whitehead and rolled up on a traffic stop. Sergeant Whitehead says the driver said he crossed the border illegally from Venezuela but turned himself in and is here legally now. But later, he was found with a bogus work permit at the jail. The stop illustrates the complexities of immigration law troopers encounter and why training on it would be useful. Will this ICE training be useful, and if so, why?
It will, because it's going to give us a point of to know where we should go next with it. It'll give us guidance of should these people be here, should they be removed from the state of Georgia.
First time being stopped by the police. Trooper Edgar Belleron assisted us with translation. Do you have a driver's license?
¿Está preguntando que si usted tiene una licencia válida?
No. No. Sergeant Whitehead said the driver would go to jail for no license, a window tint violation, and having a 4-year-old in the car unrestrained. Now, Sergeant Whitehead described a February chase by his unit in Metro Atlanta ending in a pit maneuver and the discovery the driver was in the U.S. illegally and had roughly 20 pounds of methamphetamine, and another stop last week where the driver was here illegally, he said, and had rape and assault strangulation charges on his history, though we don't know the status of those charges. But he said ICE told GSP they'd been looking for that man for deportation.
You ever see those drug busts start happening over and over, eye-popping drug busts about election time? You ever see those? You ever sit back and all of a sudden it comes election time and next thing you know, there's pictures in every newspaper of all the meth and guns and money and what they found and the criminals they caught? That almost reminds me of that. Like it's election time. I'm telling you. And he will look right at you, move right forward, and I'm helping Donald Trump. What? What the hell? What the hell? I'm telling you, man. What the hell? Now, he makes another move, because we got to move on. Got a couple more things here. Makes another move. Number 86. This week, he announced the first female Latina, first female Latina to hold statewide constitutional office is now the new labor secretary. Kept making some moves. Now, the second one making some moves, all right, is number 79, Brad Raffensperger. I know you don't like these, but I'm watching some of these moves. So the Secretary of State is making moves, all right? And there it is. Hold on just a minute. Sorry about that. I can't read it on that screen, and I don't want to back and forth on glasses. I'll use the large print over here. It was an honor spending time with Georgia Sheriff's Association. Our county sheriffs are on the front line of protecting our communities and our Constitution, and I'm proud. Okay, so Brad Raffensperger, Secretary of State. Now, here's another move he made. Number 80. And I'm going to give you the last one, which is really some kind of clue. I'm honored to stand in support of Governor Kemp's newest appointee, Barbara Rivera Holmes, as the 11th Commissioner of the Georgia Department of Labor. Her expertise in economic development and our university system will serve our state and ensure it remains the number one state to do business, along with his elections, as he calls it. Now, here's the last one. This one was most interesting, and today is the 20th, and he retweeted this on March 18th. Number 81. Now, this is when Governor Brian Kemp, if you are in our country illegally and committing crimes, you have no place in Georgia. Then what is he? Thank you. He retweets Governor Kemp. Thank you, Governor, for putting Georgians first. Thank you, Governor, for putting Georgians first. So, wow. Keep an eye on that. Now, moving right along, so we close and get ready to head into Friday. Now, I don't know, but if you're out there from sea to shining sea, but we've got a guy, and I think I know this guy about 10 years now, number 78. I think I know Bill. I think it's been right around 10 years. He's done a couple hit pieces on me, and we'll go into depth on this next week, not tomorrow, but this guy named Bill Simons, and it was established in July of 2000, the Political Vine. I think I picked it up in 2010, so I might have picked it up 15 years ago. I know this guy. And a dose of political caffeine with no sugar added. So he will, I think, when encouraged, those are the nice words, he'll go out and do a hit job, okay? He'll do a hit job on someone. He's done a couple on me. Now, I don't dislike Bill. Hey, you want to do hit jobs? Go ahead, all right? So, but I'm going to tell you, when you get these from Bill, look for the layers, okay? And quit going around the state thinking that, oh my God, did you read this? All right. They're politically motivated for the most part, and they're driven, all right? And there's, from time to time, some agendas. He doesn't claim to be the right center journalist, but I just wanted to bring that up. Now, the other one, which we all know in Georgia, well, most of us, is number 56. And we talked about this, and we did it in great detail yesterday, is Debbie Dooley. Now, Debbie Dooley seems to, as you know, what did I do? I did a full segment on legislative updates. I mean, we could have used Debbie Dooley like in the past on SB 144, helping us fight that legislation. There was a time we could call Debbie, this is years ago, and say, Debbie, we need you to help fight this legislation. We need you to let this lawmaker know he better not sponsor this, whatever. She could be productive years ago fighting legislation for the right reason. But recently, we'll say 2 years, leave it there. It seems to be her services, okay, because she does have a donation button. So we're not 100% because may have some dark money, maybe some money going around a circle getting back to her. I don't know. Could be a paper bag of cash behind a dumpster. I really don't know. I can't tell you. But it seems her political career now is, excuse me. All right, so you need to take down BKP. Got it. That's the mission. Okay, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. So I can't say she has, quote, a rate. I can't say that. I can't say there's a cost attributed. I can't say that a certain attack cost $1,000, another attack cost $2,000. I don't know that. But boy, is that just whipped up in the air. So I'm going to tell you now, this individual is no longer reputable, no longer in a position that she could be trusted, no longer in a position that you could trust the information. Well, she attacked so-and-so, and I think some of it was true. Okay. But keep in mind, it seems like her career now is to sell out to the establishment, not the grassroots, and use her information, website, database, whatever, in the form of attacks. Now, she's gone from attacking Cobb GOP chair candidate to Fulton County. She attacked me. She attacked David Cross. She attacked Jason Frazier. I think Jason Frazier's a great guy. I appreciate the work he's done over the years. I can give you a list a mile long of who she attacks. Yesterday, she attacked Bill Quinn. She got nothing to do. And if you don't do exactly as she demands, yes, she blocks you. It's hilarious. She can't take it. She's thin-skinned. Just like the red lipstick, what's her name? I can only think of red lipstick. That'd be Candace. All right? They're very thin. And they're mean people. Give me 97, because I'm going to move past this. I'm just telling you right now, if we want to return Georgia, and you think hope is out there, we've got to get rid of the swamp. All right. If you know who this is, I'm not going to go into it. I know who it is. They're very public. I'll give them credit for that. What's the matter in Georgia? All right. Debbie Dooley, Crimson Tider has blocked you. She's blocked me. I mean, if you say one thing, she blocked Crimson Tider. That's Debbie. This block speaks volumes about Debbie Dooley's credibility as a Fulton County delegate. I've always valued open-minded dialogue, welcomed diverse opinions, and previously respected Debbie's knowledge and perspectives. See, I'm in the same lane. Years ago, you don't know the work I did trying to fight legislation. All right? Mental health bill. But not anymore. Nope. And I love good political debate. I got no problem with it. But, all right. However, credibility, evidence of credible evidence of troubling behavior and interference in the Fulton County GOP elections supported by an anonymous source, Debbie put her anonymous source, raises serious concerns that warrant further scrutiny. Instead of providing clarification or transparency, blocking only deepens those concerns. What is she trying to hide, and who else might be involved in her efforts to manipulate the upcoming GOP elections? Now, I didn't write this. That's what I'm saying. She can get mad. She threatens me. She attacks me. She called me a racist. She just can't take it, right? So I'm not the only one. What is she trying to hide? And who else might be involved in her efforts to manipulate the upcoming GOP election? Debbie, if this is a business model, we're not mad. You should just disclose it. Paid for by, right? So, anyhow, now, just a couple brief notes before we go, and we'll get into Friday. All right, we'll get into Friday. I told you the story about the Low Country boil. I cannot get started on that now because I'm going to tell you the entire story, okay, of Josh McCoon. And I'll tell you one that's coming up in the future, I'm going to give you two things. One is going to really upset you. All right. One is going to really upset you. And the other side, you're like, wait a minute. All right. So let's go with it anyway. Now, the Low Country Boil, number 58, I told you a little bit of the story yesterday. I'm going to tell you the entire story. But I got to do the entire story now. All right. Josh McCoon did not go out there and support rural Georgia in 2024. Josh McCoon is not prepared. When he says, let's build on our momentum, let's take our enormous win, didn't happen. Now, here's the thing, is the base knows what happened. But I'm telling you, this will be the only way. If, I'll say it to you out there, you know who you are, if we do not end this establishment, okay, dictatorship, king for a chairman, there you go. So I'm going to tell you the whole story on that. Now, while that's up, we have the famous fish fry, right? Remember the fish fry, right? Now, I have attended, I think, 4 years in a row. I've attended the fish fry. Go down there, Perry. Don't mind the people. You have to understand, you don't know me very well. You really don't if you think I hate someone. I can sit and have a conversation with anybody. I have people ask me, so how do you do that? Doesn't bother me. I don't mind a discussion. It's the anger. Like Candace can't talk to me. She can't sit down and talk to me because she's so angry. Debbie can't talk to me. She's so angry. Denise Burns can't talk to me. She's so angry. These people are angry. They can't talk to me. It's not me, right? But here's where I'm going to tell you the fish fry story. Famous fish fry story. Now, when I tell you this story, I'm not angry with Chan Jones. That's where I pause. You guys relax. Oh my God. You like Chan Jones? I'm going to tell you a whole story. I'm going to tell you a story about my conversation with Chan Jones. He is the 8th District Chair. His committee puts on the fish fry every year. He picked it up, I think, from another 8th District Chair. The 8th District voted him as chair. He is chair. I respect the delegates, unlike the people that didn't respect the delegates that voted for me. I respect the delegates. If that's who they voted for. See, there's a side of that fish fry that you don't know about. And actually, it's not Chan Jones' fault, but I'm going to lay it all out and explain it to you. Well, he's the one that said I couldn't wear my shirt. I get it. But you got to hear the whole fish fry all the way to the hush puppies. And I'm going to do it. Now, take that down. So, and then this right here, don't forget. Now, Diane, I know you're at Studio B. I'm going to run about 6 minutes and I'll get you out of there. I'm sorry. But here, don't forget number 61. This is a John Garst. Remember, at this time, he's a Dominion lobbyist, and that's Josh McCoon and their karaoke buddies. So I'm going to give you, Diane, some really quick pictures, and we'll do the story tomorrow or Monday because stuff is coming in. So I know the background. I'll leave it there. I know the background. But the other day I got this email. And number 52, all right? And number 52. And I got this email, and I know the background, all right? And I know the tie, all right? And I know L strategies, so I don't want to leave this just hanging. But do you know Stan Fitzgerald? Click on the link below. Key Trump booster has history as a con man. All right. So, and Angie Wong, and I know Angie Wong, and I know Stan Fitzgerald. I know Stan's wife, Donna. I actually have met Stan's mother. So I got this the other day, and I'm wondering, okay, who's running this? Then I start getting information, and give me number 50. I start getting this information, which I'm already aware of. And this is in the circuit court of the 11th Judicial Circuit and for Miami-Dade County, this is a final judgment of injunction for protection against stalking and violence. And it's Angie Wong against Stan Fitzgerald. All right. Now, number 49, this is Stan. This is in the article. This is Stan Fitzgerald. He has threatened to sue me before. He has threatened to sue me. I did not do this. I did not write this. But here's number 49, Miami, Florida, March 4th, 2025. After years long ordeal, Angie Wong has won a decisive legal victory, securing a permanent stalking violence injunction against federal felony Stan Fitzgerald. And this is Stan right here. Many of you know him, okay? The final judgment, the documents there, and he was involved with a felony crime. Now, this is the individual right here, number 48. Number 48. This is Angie Wong. All right. This is Angie Wong. Angie Wong secures permanent stalking violence injunction. I have met Angie. All right. Against federal. Now, I don't know. I don't have any kind of business relationship. We don't communicate, but I've met her. Against federal felon Stan Fitzgerald signals push for stronger online harassment laws. So we're going to get into this a little further because he has put himself in. We'll go to 47. No, let's go to 46. And this is in an article I did not write. Want to keep, because he's threatened to sue me 2 or 3 times. And this says, number 46, key Trump booster has a history as a con man. Stan Fitzgerald, founder of Veterans for America First, admitted role in selling 2 million in fake autographs in one of the biggest sports memorabilia scams in history. All right. And an FBI raid. This was an FBI raid in 1999. I'm going to show you. And number 47, this is a picture in the article. This is an example in the article of some of the memorabilia. These are baseballs with forged signatures of Babe Ruth recovered during Operation Bullpen. Here are Babe Ruth signatures, fake signatures that were sold, forged and sold. They're Babe Ruth, and in the Operation Bullpen, they were recovered. Okay? I mean, it bothers me in many ways because I'm in the sports memorabilia. All right. And I've looked at it. I have not purchased any. I have a little bit. And here is number 45, United States District Court, Southern District of California, United States versus Stanley Fitzgerald. All right. Donna, his wife, and Josephine Fitzgerald, his mother. Okay. All right. His mother. And that was in 1995 and continued, including October 1999. We will go into that later. Now, that is all coming out. That is out in different publications now. And I have a concern, and there's a reason I brought it up. I have a concern, and I'll just put it here. I'm going to leave it here, number 59. This is my concern, all right? I'm going to put no connection. I want to be clear. Because damn these attorneys. This is John Fredericks. John Fredericks, L Strategies, Media Buys, Stan Fitzgerald. Just think about it. We'll talk about it later. And remember, John Fredericks is endorsing Josh McCoon. Just remember that. Folks, I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Right back here. Diane, I hope you get power. Diane, thank you for powering through. Diane, what's our song? We will survive, right? We better not. That better not be our song. But we'll make it somehow, some way, and we'll be back tomorrow at 8. Diane, get us out of here and go home.